If you've watched my Marvel hotel review vlog or you listened to the previous episode, you know it didn't exactly start off that well, or the middle, or the end. I've been looking forward to this day. The photos were stunning. I already knew the hotel from when I was living in Paris in 2023, and we had an annual pass. We went to Disney so many times, and we usually had dinner at the Manhattan restaurant in the Marvel Hotel. We also had drinks before in the Sky Bar in the Marvel Hotel. So we knew about the Marvel Hotel. So we knew what it looked like. And I was actually really looking forward to finally staying there. The reviews online were great. And then I walked in. Today, I'm telling you the full story of what happened. Not just at check-in, but literally the whole thing, including the checkouts, because the checkout wasn't mentioned in the hotel review vlog because I already sort of closed it. But yeah. So there's also a big part here that didn't actually make the vlog. Let's get into it. You know that feeling when you watch a luxury hotel review and something just doesn't add up? Welcome to Suitcase Confessions. I'm Sylvahna, and this is where I say the things most travel creators won't. Real stories, honest opinions, and the side of luxury travel nobody's showing you. Let's get into it. So my expectations were actually pretty high because, like I mentioned, we went to the Marva Hotel to have dinner there, to have a drink there. So we had already been inside the hotel, and I always loved it. I always loved being there, and it genuinely has like a big entrance with big hallways and everything. So it genuinely looks like a very good hotel. So I was actually really excited to stay there. Luxury hotels have a very different check-ins. And of course, the Marva Hotel is a 4-star hotel and not a 5-star hotel. So we knew that before we went there, before we booked it, before we checked in, before everything. Fun fact, I used to work at hotel front desks at 4-star hotels. So I actually know how it's supposed to go and how it's supposed to look like and the experience that a hotel guest is supposed to have at a 4-star hotel. And how it's supposed to look like is you are being welcomed by the front desk. You are being helped, being escorted to a front desk clerk that's available. You are filling in a form or at least put your signature there that you arrived. They will offer to store your luggage if your room isn't ready yet, but they will check the system if the room is ready or not. And then you will just explain, or the front desk clerk will explain, okay, this is where you can find everything. This is how it's arranged. So like, they are supposed to tell you about the breakfast, what time it is, where you can find the room, where you can find other facilities inside the hotel. You ask if they have a dinner reservation, if they are interested in making a dinner reservation. And because this is part of the Disneyland park, they can also talk a little bit more about the Disneyland park. Just explain how to get there. Or, just at least ask, is this your first time? Or do you know your way around? If it's your first time, then tell a little bit more on where they can find the entrance and everything. So that was missing, like the whole thing, and not just a part of it, but the whole thing. Like, it was insane. Okay, so let me walk you through what exactly happened. So we arrived at the hotel with 3 suitcases, 2 large one small one, because we were staying 1 night at the Marvel Hotel, after that 2 nights at the Disneyland Hotel, and after that 4 nights in another hotel in Paris itself, Paris, the city. So we had a lot of luggage. So we arrived. I was looking around because there are like a lot of desks and you don't really see right away where the reception would be. So if you walk through the doors and you walk inside, there is a desk on your left side. Then on the other side, there's also a desk. And then at the end is also a desk. So it's not really clear on where you have to go. But the desk on your left side after you walk in the door is the concierge. And the one on the right side, the first one, is the reception desk. And the one in the end is for the luggage. So we arrived pretty early, but not that early. It was 11 a.m., so not that early. So we arrived at the reception desk. We wanted to walk towards the reception desk, and there was someone standing there and pretty much blocking us, like, how can I help you? And that, when something doesn't go well or it's just bad, because that's basically what it is, you start thinking about literally every single thing. So with this specific example, she didn't even say, hello, good morning, how are you? No, just, can I help you? Like that, like, excuse me, I'm a guest. So she said, can I help you? Are you checking out? So we said, no, we're checking in. And I literally got the response, check-in is at 3. And she just looked the other way. Like, that was, I believe, the most rude greeting I ever had in a 4-star hotel. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, yeah, so anyways. So I said, okay, where can we leave the luggage? I was literally with 3 pieces of luggage. And then she said, luggage is there. And she pointed at the luggage desk. So that was like the weirdest and the rudest, like, I don't even know what it was. So we walked to the luggage desk, and they were super kind, by the way. I have to say that. They were super kind. So they took our luggage, they gave us a tag, and we could just go inside, go to the park, and it's a good way that I know my way around over there. Because if I was going there for the first time and this was how I would have been greeted, I was like, where the hell am I? And if we are like talking about that in that way, like if this would be your first time that you would visit Disneyland Paris and this hotel, and this would be like your welcome, then I would really understand that you would say, I do not like this park at all. Like, that is your first encounter in the park in Disneyland Paris. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, we went to the Disneyland park and we had all kinds of things planned. And then in the afternoon, we went back to the hotel after 3, because check-in was after 3. So after 3, we went back and I went to the reception desk again. And I basically just said, hi, good afternoon, I'm checking in. The response, hi, what is your booking number? Okay, don't know, have to check. Let me open the app. Internet was the worst at that point, so it was really slow. And then, like 1 or 2 minutes later, she asked, "Didn't you receive an email or a text that your room is ready?" Uh, and I literally received a text at that point, like that moment that she asked me that, I literally received it then. So I told her that. I told her, yeah, I'm receiving it right now. And it says, this is my room number. And she literally said, okay, so what do you need from me? I was like, even talking about it right now, it's shocking, right? This is not how you do it. And maybe at a 2-star hotel or a 3-star, but a 4-star, no. Like, I'm still shocked about how we were treated there. Anyways, so I was like, well, maybe tell me something about the hotel. Maybe you have a key for me. Maybe you can tell me about breakfast, where the pool is, literally where we can find our room. But no, nothing. So I was like, I don't know, do I have to sign anything or no? No, you can just go to your room and open the app and you can just enter your room with the app. Like, that is the worst check-in experience I have ever experienced. Like, it is insane. Insane. And I was so happy that I just booked like one night and didn't book like a major stay there. I would have been so pissed if I would have been like a family of 4 staying there for 3 nights. Wow. Anyways, that was our check-in experience. And so I also asked her about the suitcases because she also didn't tell me anything about that. And she told me like, yeah, there will be someone will bring that to your room. Okay. Well, we were looking in the hotel. We didn't know which hallway. There are 2 hallways, so we didn't know which hallway we had to go, and we just uh, followed our feeling and intuition, like this is the way, whatever. And we found the elevator, and we eventually found our room. And we opened the app and we were able to open a door with the app. And then we went inside and, we just booked a basic room. So we weren't expecting anything major inside the room, but it was a pretty depressing room because there was nothing there, like nothing. There was nothing inside the minibar. Anyways, sometimes I'm thinking, like, am I just complaining? Am I just someone that is never happy? But that's definitely not true. So no, it just wasn't all that good. And so the suitcases weren't there yet, which was fine. They arrived like a few minutes later. So then I went to the bathroom, I went to the toilet, I closed the door, and I literally see a hair on the bathroom door. That's disgusting. And on the floor in the bathroom, I don't even know what it was, but it was dirt and it wasn't ours because we literally just walked into the room. So, yeah, that was that. Think after that we went to the Sky Bar, which was great. We always love the Sky Bar. We have been there before and the ambience is amazing. I love the fact that you can sometimes like see Spider-Man and Iron Man on the screens at the bar, that you can just see them pass by. I really like that. The drinks are always very good. The staff is very friendly. So the bar is great. It is amazing. So after that, we went to the Manhattan restaurant where we have had dinner before. We love Manhattan and we are actually never disappointed. So this time we still loved it. We weren't like disappointed. The food was amazing. The drinks were amazing. It was all pretty amazing until I wanted to pay the check. So I asked her for the check. It all looks good. And I went on and paid. And then after I paid, like the second, maybe half a second after it went through, I saw that it was the wrong amount. So I told her, you charged me the wrong amount. It's not the same as on the check. So the check was correct, but she charged me a different amount. She went to her supervisor and it took a while. I believe we were waiting there for like 15 minutes. And then she came back and I had to walk with her. And she basically credited the wrong amount that I had already paid, which was 160 euros. And I had to pay my actual bill, which was 130 euros. So what that basically means is that because I just paid double basically for my dinner, because that 160 euros that I paid, it could take I believe it was 5 to 10 days before I received it back on my card. That sucks. And they didn't do anything about it. She was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And what I think is if you make a mistake like that, it's all fine, mistakes can happen. But then you let us wait for 15 minutes and then you basically make me pay my bill again. And what you also could have done is just say, okay, let's just charge the amount, the difference in the amount, let's just get you that back, and then it's all settled. Because then I wouldn't have paid twice. And she also didn't do anything else. And I would be like, yeah, that is a pretty big mistake to be made, So that also wasn't the best experience that we had. Like I said, the food was amazing, the drinks were amazing, but yeah, that could have been way better. I'm not gonna lie. So that was that. We also went to the concierge to ask, how do we get from this hotel to the Disneyland hotel with our suitcases? And he told us that, we can just arrange to have your luggage transported to the Disneyland hotel. So that was pretty great. We could just leave our luggage in the room and just call the bellboy, and he would pick it up and send it to the Disneyland hotel. So that was great. The next morning, the breakfast, it wasn't that special. It was fine. It wasn't bad, but it also wasn't amazing. I've seen better breakfasts, buffets at 4-star hotels, but I'm not complaining about that because it was fine. Then we checked out and we also just went to the reception desk again. I'm like, yeah, we're checking out. Okay. What's your room number? Okay. That's it. How was your stay? I don't know. Maybe that's something that you ask guests that are leaving. My gosh. It was literally, if people ask me, would you recommend the Art of Marvel to stay at as a 4-star hotel? I would say no. No, go to the Disneyland Hotel. That was freaking amazing. And if you cannot afford the Disneyland Hotel, then just go to, I don't know, Newport Bay Club, Sequoia Lodge. Don't pay the extra amount for the Marvel Hotel because it's just not good. It was affecting my stay a little bit because I was just shocked. How can you do this at a 4-star hotel? I would expect something like this at a 2-star hotel, not even a 3-star hotel. Like, are you for real? And so, having told you my entire Marvel hotel story, I'm curious, has a hotel ever completely let you down at check-in? Did you experience anything close to what I just told you? Because I'm actually pretty interested in hearing your worst experience. Like, how bad can it get? I'm genuinely curious about that. So my full Marvel Hotel review vlog is live on YouTube right now. I will put the link in the description. Go watch it and tell me what you think. Let me know what you think. That's it for this one. Next week, things get a little personal. I'm talking about something I never expected when I started doing this. How exhausting traveling this much actually is. If you've ever felt that too, you'll want to hear this one. I was like, yeah, traveling a lot, that would be freaking amazing because I love traveling. I just never would have thought that it would be so exhausting. So, yeah. And that's the confession for today.